I don't usually insert myself into other people's conversations, but I made an allowance on this occasion. Mrs. Bagshaw, who runs the corner shop, a formidable woman with a penchant for a blue rinse, was having an altercation with Mr. Drummond from number 42. Something about the wrong change. I'd only popped in for a bag of licorice Allsorts, but I knew for a fact that Mrs. Bagshaw, whose financial skills stretched to having managed the budget for the WI for 20 years, would not give the wrong change. Everything okay? I asked. Mr. Drummond here is asserting that I have given him the wrong change, she said, in her usual bombastic tone. But I've assured him that he only gave me a £5 note. She doesn't take any prisoners, does Mrs. Bagshaw. What's more, she said, if he thinks that a tin of boiled potatoes and a meat pasty constitute a wholesome meal, well, I think he needs to review his eating habits. Needless to say, he eventually took the change and sloped off out of the shop, his tail between his legs. Just the licorice Allsorts? She asked, making me jump a bit. Yes, I said, that's all for today. Evie, she said, isn't it 3 years ago tomorrow that your Stanley passed away? Stanley and I met at a travelling fairground in Bognor Regis. I'd never been further than the butcher's on Sycamore Street at that point, so it was all very exciting, if a tad daunting. He came rushing over when he saw that I'd got some candy floss stuck in my hair. He wanted to help, but he fell head first over a young girl and landed in some donkey shit. It definitely wasn't love at first sight. Well, it wasn't love at all, to be honest. Despite the years we spent together, we never married. No children. He developed a fetish for breeding ferrets and biting his toenails, and I've never gotten on well anything with fur. Yes, it is, I said. Bearing up, she asked, trying to coil me in. Couldn't be better, I said, refusing to make eye contact and refusing to bite. Ta-ra then, she called after me as I scurried out of the shop. The sarcasm didn't escape me. It started to rain, so I popped on my rain hood and I tottered off down to the bus stop in time for the number 28. Mary, that's the care home manager, came over to me as I entered, as she usually does, prancing over, far too cheerful for my taste. Hi, Evie, you okay? She asked, with that big false smile and a voice that could cut glass. Yes, I'm fine, I replied. You're looking well, she said. Have you done something new with your hair? No, it's the same as it always is, Mary, I said. Same as usual. And I made a beeline for the lounge down the corridor. Rose was sat in her usual chair by the large window overlooking the garden. I wandered over, grabbed a shabby-looking chair that had seen better days, and parked my derriere. I took her hand, held it tight, and followed her gaze out the window. She didn't register my presence, of course. I'm lucky if I get a twitch of the head in my direction. The stroke 5 years ago put a stop to any kind of meaningful communication, but interaction between us. I was at primary school with Rose. She's my best friend, and to all intents and purposes, my lover. Stanley? Oh, he knew. So did her Jim. In fact, they once caught us having a smooch in the back of Jim's Morris Minor. They must have thought we were fanning around because we just burst out laughing when they opened the door. To be honest, they were both a battery short of a fully functioning dildo. Why did we stay with them? Well, you just did in those days. It just wasn't done. We grabbed time together when we could. Think Marina and Howard in Last of the Summer Wine. She cornered me again, that Mary, I said. It's like trying to avoid gunshots at the Battle of the Little Bighorn with her. I thought I saw a little twitch on Rose's lips, as I do sometimes. And it's at moments like that that I know she can hear me. What I wouldn't give for a proper chin whack. Every Thursday, I come here for an hour. I hold her hand and I waffle on about the times we had together. Our trips to the beach, barefoot in the sand as the waves lapped against our feet. Our trips to the independent cinema on Attercliffe Street, grabbing a kiss when the usherette wasn't waving a torch in our direction. The plans we made to be together properly. I got the call at 8 that night. Mrs. Robinson? Yes, I said, that's me. I'm afraid I have some bad news. Never did leave her those licorice Allsorts.